Okay, hi. I'm basically in this video I'm going to be analysing a clip from the 1999 film The Blair Witch Project, which me and my partner chose, and the clip is called Please Help Us. Okay.
Okay, I've got everything on video, man. Oh, Jesus Christ, I didn't even fucking see these, man.
Okay, so in the first clip, it's sort of a canted angle, and the camera pans from left to right multiple times, and it's a handheld camera, which makes it seem more realistic, and you get more of the characters' emotions that way, and it also makes the audience feel like you are part of the action and what's going on. In the clip, they are walking towards the twig figures like that the witch has made, and this part is a low angle, which is looking upwards, which it makes the figures seem scarier and like more menacing. In the clip, the lighting in this shot, the lighting is it's not dark, but it's dim lighting. It's getting dark, which makes the scene seem more like eerie, and like the audience can't tell what's going on properly, so it leaves you in a like suspenseful place. So you can't fully make out what's happening. In the dialogue in this, it shows that the characters are fearful and are not completely aware of what's going on because they seem confused, and the tone of especially the guy talking, the tone of his voice is more like it's more like confused, and like he's shouting, and like the fact that he swears shows that he's fearful. People like often do that when they're like unaware of their surroundings, or they're confused, or like scared of something. And in this shot, the mise-en-scène is like it's just of the woods and the witch figures, and it pans across them. And this leaves an uneasy feeling because the figures sort of blend in with the trees, and they're hard to make out, which makes it like more scary to watch because you don't completely know what's happening. It leaves you like with a sense of unease. And these witch figures, they're also quite like significant because they like pop up at multiple points in the film, and they're like, yeah. Okay, so the second shot that we see is quite short. The camera, it slowly pans to the left at an eye level, like of the witch figures, and it continuously shows the twig figures again, and these are a poignant part of the film because, like I said a minute ago, they pop up a lot. The short shot, like I said, it focuses on the witch figures, and this shows the characters like panic and like worry because the previous clip was longer and like more walking and movement, and the contrast between that and this short clip where the camera just slowly moves and focuses on the figures. As it like the previous shot was more hectic, and to this, which is a lot quieter, although you can hear like the other characters in the background being loud and like shouting and asking them to stop taping. This also kind of shows like the lack of awareness of what's happening, or what's going on in the situation. Okay.
Okay, we're leaving right
now. The third shot is that starts with the camera who Heather is holding, focusing on the figures again, and like once you hear the other characters asking her to stop, she suddenly moves the camera from left to right and then the floor like multiple times, like showing that she's like she's in fear and she's worrying and like scared because the camera it's shaky, it's really shaky, and it's moving a lot. And it shows a panic that's setting in slowly because like throughout the clip so far they're like gradually becoming like more panicked and scared, and like because they're unaware of the situation. When you hear the other character shouting in the background, it intensifies the panic and tension because she reacts by suddenly being like, okay, we're leaving, and repeating what she's saying multiple times. Yeah, it also sets in like more tension for the audience because you can't fully see what's happening because she's moving the camera, although you get an idea because of the dialogue. Yeah, also the mise-en-scène here, it's basically the same as the last two shots. It's just continuously of the woods and like the floor and the witch figures, which shows that despite the fact that the clip is moving on and they are travelling, that they're not really getting anywhere because nothing has changed really, and it all seems like the same thing, which also like sets in fear because you don't really see anything else except this, and also no people have appeared yet in this clip.
Okay, we're out of here. I'm leaving.
Okay, yeah, also in that clip, you at the end you hear someone shouting to turn it off, and then it cuts to the next scene, which shows that she is wary of what the other people think as well, and like it shows that the characters bounce off each other, and if one's panicked, the other is too. Okay.
Not the way to get out of here.
The fourth shot, I think, is the camera. The camera is at an eye level and it follows Mike, who moves like across the screen slowly. It slowly pans and follows him. But Heather, who's holding the camera, she doesn't move, and yeah, she stays put, which gives kind of a sense of confusion and isolation almost, because she, despite what's happening around her, she can't really do anything because like the lack of movement just shows that she's scared, confused, because like before she was moving a lot, like she was shaking the camera, and this shot is quite steady. And yeah, in this shot, also there's a contrast between the previous shots and this one, because Mike in this one, he's shouting a lot, and he's like, you can see the panic has like really set in because he's moving a lot, he's like screaming, and also again he's swearing, which kind of shows, like I said before, the panic, because people often like swear and like do like unnecessary things when they're panicking. Also there's a contrast between Mike's shouting to Heather's calmly talking. Like she's trying to not reassure, but her panic is sort of different to his. Like she's calm and like collected about it. She says that's not the way to deal with it, but she knows as well that they're not really getting anywhere and they are lost. Also in this, again, you get the mise-en-scène is the same, like regarding the location. That hasn't changed at all because it's just, again, it's more woods, but just a different part of the woods. But in this scene shot, you don't see the witch figures because they're focusing on the characters. You do get an introduction of more of the mise-en-scène though, because you see the characters, and like you can just see the basics they have because they haven't really got much resources with them. They've just got like their backpacks and their clothes. You can also see that they've been outside for a while because like their hair's messy, they look kind of dirty, and they just don't look clean at all. Oh yeah, the fact that the woods hasn't really changed. Also, it reinforces the idea of like isolation and loneliness, because like I said earlier, despite journeying through the woods, they haven't really got anywhere, and they're in an isolated area, which is a common like convention of a horror film as well. Yeah, it also like it highlights the situation that they're in. yeah, also there's a change in tone in their voices in this shot compared to the previous ones, as like I said, Mike, he's screaming, which again it shows panic, but Heather in the last shot she's talking a lot faster, she's more panicked because she's bouncing off of the other characters, and here she's like, she would still be panicked, but she's more collected about it, and she yeah.
It's safe to say at this point that we're lost. I don't know what to do.
Okay, the shot after that is it's of Heather walking, and she's just filming the floor. Like there's no, it's like, it doesn't show, like it's not eye level, it's not like a high angle or low angle, it's just a like bird's eye view pretty much of the floor, and like it's still handheld, so there's a lot of shaking and like just filming of the floor, which it kind of shows that she's like worn out, and like the characters are like losing like hope in a way, because they're yeah, she's like shaken and giving up in a way, because yeah. Also the way, like the tone of her voice, like with the dialogue, she sounds breathless, which kind of shows that she's like slowly giving up, and they're getting tired and worn out of like just walking and getting nowhere. This also kind of like, it builds tension as well, because when the audience sees that the characters are like deteriorating a little bit, it makes them seem more vulnerable to to whatever may happen, like in the situation. Yeah. Also, in the mise-en-scène there's nothing except the floor, which sort of shows that again they're isolated and they can't really do much about it.
Alright.
Let's not light a fire tonight.
Yeah, I
Because
think.
2 nights in a row we lit a fire. We didn't light one the first night,
And nothing
and
happened.
nothing happened. We light fires, they know. I haven't heard anything follow.
Okay, in this like shot, the camera is sort of a high angle, and it's of the tent with one of the characters inside, and this kind of shows that Josh, who the character is, he's vulnerable, and he's like losing like will in a way, as he's more vulnerable to like everything, like the situation, what could happen to them. Oh yeah, it also it reflects their mood too, because like the whole shot, the way they're talking is they sound tired, they sound like worn out and like drained from the situation of what's happening. Oh yeah, also the as the camera is at a high angle almost, although it is Heather filming, it shows that like Josh is like they've all fallen victim to like the woods and what, like how the witch controls the woods, and yeah. The dialogue, it consists of what they're going to do next and what they're going to do the next day, and this kind of shows that they're still planning despite being lost and not having any clue what to do. And here again, their tone in voice changes from before, where they were panic stricken and shouting. Here they're all like, they all sound worn out and tired, which kind of shows that they like, again, they're sort of losing hope, or like losing against the woods. Okay, regarding the mise-en-scène, the main thing that's focused on is is the tent and the sleeping bag, and it fills up most of the camera space. But you can see the forest in the background a little bit, and like I said, like throughout the whole clip, it hasn't really changed. So it kind of shows the lack of progress that they're not having. Yeah, also this clip, it kind of shows the lack of resources they've got, which could be a risk for them. And yeah, Also, there's like a lack of detail due to the camera quality, which kind of leaves like a sense of unease and like the fear of the unknown as well, because you don't really see anything completely abnormal apart from the witch figures, like the sticks. And yeah, the lack of like detail kind of reinforces that idea, because you don't really get that many close-ups of things in this clip apart from the next shot. And yeah, it also like, as it's just focusing on the tent, it also, again, it shows the isolation that they are like facing. And yeah.
We should even turn that light off too.
Okay, the last shot that is in the clip is a close-up of Mike, and like with dialogue between him and Heather, who's holding the camera. Yeah, the close-up, he has a bright light shone on his face, and the expression on his face is like one that's like confused and lost and like just worn out. And yeah, this close-up kind of reinforces like, or like reiterates to the audience how draining the situation is, because none of them are getting anything out of it. Like, they're just lost and confused. In the bright light, it's also a contrast to the rest of the clip, because there are no other bright lights, and in this particular shot it's night, so it's a big contrast to the darkness like surrounding them. And yeah, the camera, it moves from Mike in the tent. No, it moves from the tent to Mike. No, the other way around. It moves from Mike to the tent, and then the lights go out. But you can still hear the dialogue, and the dialogue is just basically them like deciding what to do and like being confused and saying that they need sleep and this and that. Oh yeah, also the darkness, it kind of shows that they have progressed in the day, but in comparison to the mise en scène like surrounding the tent, they haven't really progressed that much. They may have moved, but they haven't moved on further. Like, they haven't progressed in the actual journey they want to make. They've got lost basically. Like the last shot, overall, it just like highlights the general mood of the characters. Like, it's a lot quieter compared to the rest of the scene. And yeah, the lighting and the camera angles, it all just shows that they're like down, confused, and like just lost in general. Yeah.